Day 10 of Broncos Training Camp is in the books. I am your host and team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, standing outside in this heat with our lead writer on DenverBroncos.com, Aric DiLalla. Now, the heat was really on the field, but as you kind of look at this practice concluding, who stood out to you?
Wow, you brought it there. That was good. Yeah, we come outside for day 10 of training camp. I think Troy Franklin, first and foremost, is the guy that I noticed on this Tuesday. I was trying to think what day is it out here. Troy continues to impress in training camp. I think every day he's had a couple of catches. Today in particular, I thought really productive, especially kind of late in practice. There was a move the ball drill, and Bo Nix kept looking Troy Franklin's way. We heard Joe Lombardi after practice talk about the connection that Bo has with Troy Franklin, but I think the big thing is the new positional versatility. He's kind of working at a couple different spots, including slot receiver, which, it's opened up his route tree a little bit. And we've heard Sean Payton talk about that. Joe Lombardi talked about that today. So Troy Franklin, he's kind of the buzz of training camp, right? That he could have a big season. Excited to see what he does this weekend in San Francisco, and then kind of moving forward as we go to the regular season. I'd say a couple other guys. RJ Harvey got some good work today. J.K. Dobbins, Joe Lombardi said got a vet day off, but when you look at RJ Harvey, he gets north-south. He's got that burst. A lot of the things that you saw the Broncos talk about after they drafted him. So he stood out, and then every day we talk about Riley Moss, right, and his ability to play opposite Pat Surtain. He makes plays, man.
And I think all the guys want to make plays, especially on the defensive side of the ball. From a big picture perspective, what are your big takeaways from today's practice?
Listen, we talk about it every single day, it feels like, but situationally, the Broncos continue to focus there. There are these full-speed drills, and they were back in full pads on Tuesday, but I think you also see these teaching moments where Sean Payton brings the whole team up, he's talking through a scenario, and then maybe you run it at walk-through speed or half speed. The first group runs it, the second group runs it, and they're working through these scenarios that you don't know when they're going to pop up. We hear Sean Payton talk about that all the time. It might be once every 5 years, but you've got to be ready for it when it does. So I think just the continued focus on those details could make the difference for a team that's chasing a championship, right?
Well, the Broncos head to San Francisco and they have a joint practice on Thursday. And then the first preseason game against the San Francisco 49ers. What can you learn from a practice like that? What excites you the most when you know they're going to go against some new competition?
Yeah, I think you always see a new scheme, right? And you're going against a team, obviously Kyle Shanahan's got roots in this West Coast offense. And so to see how this defense, the Denver defense that has aspirations of being the best defense in football, how does it look when you're going against a San Francisco offense that, besides the injuries from last year, like they've been a very productive unit, and that defense still has a lot of playmakers. And so what does it look like when you're going up against another team? And we talked about it the other day. Last year, the Green Bay practice really signified something to this team. I think it could be the same thing this year. So how do some of the Broncos stars play against the Niners? How do you travel? And then in the preseason game, we don't know yet exactly what the reps are going to look like, but Sean Payton did indicate the other day that guys are going to play. So excited to see what that looks like and who puts on the full pads, the jersey, and get some game action going.
Well, training camp goes on the road, but don't worry, Broncos country. We will have you covered, so make sure you guys stay tuned on DenverBroncos.com.